Hey guys, welcome back to the studio. Today, I want to give you a tiny little glimpse into what I just experienced a couple of days ago. So normally I don't do these furious rants, but I really need to kind of get this out and tell you people to warn you, because I booked a flight, right? And you already maybe know where this is going. With Southwest, going from Denver to Los Angeles. I booked it 1 month in advance. I took a week off of work. I did all this adulting, planning, and all this stuff. And guess what happened to me, right? I mean, first you could say, oh, it was this cyclone thing that hit, or, not cyclone, but this weather that delayed all these flights and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, maybe that'll affect me. But I didn't expect it to affect me in this way. So I drive down to the airport, and I get to the airport 2 hours early to make sure that I can get through security, blah, blah, blah. I got through security actually very fast. So good job, TSA. Then I got to the gate, and I'm sitting there an hour before boarding time, right? They say, your flight has been delayed by 5.5 hours, which they probably knew this before I drove an hour down to the airport, because I live an hour north, like near Fort Collins, Colorado. They waste my time the first time. Then I'm sitting there for an hour, right? And then they tell me that the flight is delayed. I'm like, okay, cool. So I guess I just gotta wait. I brought some things to do, books to read, da-da-da. Hoping I'm still gonna get out. This is Christmas Day, mind you, so I did also take the time away from my family that I have here to go and see my, parental family. And anyway, so I'm sitting there, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hopefully, this flight is going to not get delayed again. I'm talking to the person next to me. He says that he had been there since noon that day, and he was on a connector flight. But his flight gets called, which makes me hopeful. Anyway, 3 hours go by. Don't hear anything. They're telling me that they don't have enough crew to fly the plane. In particular, stewardesses or flight attendants, whatever you want to call them. There aren't enough of them in order to have the plane going. And this might be wrong, but I would forego some peanuts or crackers or whatever for a 2-hour flight from Denver to LA. That's just me. But maybe there's some other safety protocols that they're necessary for. But, I'm just like, I want to get there. So, I'm maybe a little irrational. But then another hour goes by, and I decide to go eat some dinner. So I'm eating dinner, and I get over to a counter, and this person tells me that maybe what's going on is the Southwest employees are all calling in sick, and they're actually collaborating with each other and doing a silent protest against Southwest for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why this girl would say that to me, but she did. So I don't know what's going on there. So who knows? Maybe it's just a rumor. Maybe that's not true. But we did find out that what happened is that a ton of people called in sick. And I know that my plane was not late because of the weather, because my plane was coming from San Diego, California. So literally, it was flying from San Diego to Denver and then back to LAX. That's how it was flying, right? So finally, I'm eating my dinner, and I'm like, okay, I'm waiting so long. 4 hours go by. I'm drinking a beer now. I'm like, thank God the bar is still open. I barely caught it, right? And they were like, do you want the 16 or 24 ounce? Of course, I opted for the 24. Because, have a little more. But anyway, I'm sitting there, and I'm telling the ride that I've arranged back in Los Angeles to not wait up and all this kind of stuff, and just telling them that I'm going to be delayed, so now I got to pay for a taxi, and then blah, blah, blah. So then I'm sitting there, listening to Joe Rogan Experience, drinking a beer, and I keep trying to check to see if my flight's been canceled or delayed longer or something like that. Mind you, they aren't telling you what's going on over the intercom like they're supposed to, so I'm just sitting there. And so, anyway, then finally I get through in the app, and it says that my flight's been delayed longer. So now my flight's not going to take off until I think it was 1:45 in the morning, and it was supposed to go off at 8:05, like takeoff, not just board, right? It's supposed to take off at 8:05. So now it's 11:30 at night, and I've been there for many hours, you know. So anyway, I continue my sitting, and long story short, I could like give you more details, but long story short, I keep checking the app. Finally, it says my flight's been canceled, right? So thank you for telling me that. Thank God, because I actually live in this state, so I don't need to be accommodated with a hotel room. So I go over to the line to speak to the ticket people, and I stand there for 1 hour and literally did not move a foot. And I spoke to the person in front of me, and they said that all these people had got to the front of the line, and then the person at the desk was like, "Oh, I'm off. Okay, goodbye," because my shift's over, which I don't blame them for that, but still. So, in other words, it was a giant shit show, and it was the worst flying experience of my life. And while I was in line to wait to talk to the ticket person, which, by the way, I never accomplished because the line literally was not moving, and people were on the sleep. They were on the floor sleeping, right? So then, talking to the person in front of me, they said they got to get back to work, right? And while they're telling me that, I get a text from Southwest that says, "Your flight has been rescheduled for the 1st of the year," which by the way, was my return date, right? So their automated system or whatever scheduled my flight for the 1st at 1:55 p.m., and then I would return the same day at 8:55. So literally, my vacation, they cut it down from a week to a couple of hours. So thank you very fucking much there, Southwest. You literally canceled my vacation because you couldn't figure out how to schedule your planes, and probably your overbooking and all this kind of stuff. The person in front of me told me that you couldn't accommodate people because it wasn't weather related. It was actually because you guys fucked up, right? So that's why you won't accommodate a person in a hotel room, so you'll make them sleep in the airport for days. So I'm just saying this: I will never, ever, ever, ever fly your airline again. I had flown you before; it was pretty good. There's many other issues I have with you, which I will not go into, but consider yourselves canceled by me. Hopefully a lot of people see this and they also cancel your airline, because you literally treat people like trash. Like they should just be sleeping on the ground in the airport with no anything. So yeah, see you later, Southwest Airlines. And by the way, I still have not been able to get through on their hotline to get my money back, because you just automatically scheduled me for another thing. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much, but not thank you. So now I've been home, by the way, just going to go into my staycation that I've had. So instead of vacation, I've literally been fixing my house. So thank you for that. So I went from working to then fixing my house, which, is actually a good thing. So maybe I should be thanking you, but maybe not. Anyway, if you like videos like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I will catch you on the next one.